I'm Brandon,
I'm Chris.
and this is Fill the Box. Welcome back, boys. We've been off for what, 2 weeks?
Couple weeks.
Yeah. There was a crazy, wild ice storm and weather and all that good stuff. So, uh, man, we got a guest, and that's
Yeah.
really exciting. So before we get into that, we gotta, tone ourselves down and get into, just a little reflection on what we've been doing the past 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
want to go first?
Sure. Man, well, it's just been busy, That when that weather came through, that happened to also be a busy week.
Mm-hmm.
So it just sort of was I don't think that ice was quite as bad as everyone was hoping it was going to be. But it came in. That was why we had to reschedule some of what we were doing here, but
Mm-hmm.
had a busy week then, had a busy week the week after, a lot going on at home. This is just getting into the busy season for my wife with softball.
Oh yeah.
So readjusting to that schedule at home is
Mm-hmm.
is taking an adjustment. So we'll get into it. It'll be fine, but it takes a minute to get in that rhythm again,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, so same, I guess, right? So it's been slow season for Doubtfire cleaning, and so we're about to start picking up. I've been doing payroll, and we got a bunch of other, irons in the fire. But at work, dude, work has just been full blown work, right? So I guess the day after all the inclement weather, I went into work and getting off that tour ran a super complex call. Lady was started out talking initially, and then she went into grunts, and next thing you know, by the end of it, she was intubated, and I heard she's on life support or whatever. Just not a great way to end a tour where you've
Sure.
already had a STEMI, accidents, people were flown, like all the things happened that tour. And then to cap it off, you're like, all right, I got to intubate somebody. After you've already been on the road for like 10 minutes, just
Mm,
getting back out of your district
yeah.
towards the hospital. So that wasn't fun. But with that, I realized I was burnt out. I was I was so upset after that happened. I was like, "Whoa, I need to take a minute, evaluate, see what's going on." And I realized I was just like burnt the fuck up, like
Yeah.
completely just mad at anything and everything. I even looked back and noticed I went to work in a upset state. So
Mm,
I know I need a vacation, schedule that soon. I need to take some time off and just separate myself from work for a minute.
sure.
And so the basis of that is what this whole podcast is about, right? So, ooh, that's gonna sound terrible.
We'll figure it out eventually.
uh, so this podcast is about venting, mental health, and like getting things off your chest, right? So our tagline says you're first due to your own problems. And I found that out firsthand just the other day, right? Like I was like, oh, looking around. Nobody knows I'm burnt out, right? I'm still happy go lucky. I'm still doing things, but
Yeah.
I'm realizing, oh, I am pissed. I am angry. There's something in my chest that makes me want to fight.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I should probably take a little vacation. At the minimum, make sure I have a few days on my 4 day to where I'm not doing anything. Hey, so a 4 day for you, I know you're 24/48, so a 4 day doesn't exist in your world. But we are 48/96, so we have 4 days every, 6 day, whatever the math is
Well,
on
yeah,
that.
whatever it is.
Yeah, but if I take off a day, I get 5.
If I take off a tour, I get 10. So
Mhm.
and so with that, this is our guest today, Jonathan Moore. He's one of my neighbors, turned out to be one of my really, really good friends, probably one of my best friends. He always lets my dog get out whenever I ask. He actually catches my dogs when they get out.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
cool.
Coop was in the front of the neighborhood the other day.
Dumb motherfucker.
I get off work, pull in the neighborhood, and I'm pulling in. In our neighborhood, you pull in, you kind of go to the right towards our house, and I look to the left at the basketball court, and there's a little old black dog just peeing in the bushes.
Yeah.
And it's raining. It's cold, and it's raining. And by cold, it's in that freeze that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 19 degrees.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fucking
And
brutal.
I stop and I open the door and I go, Coop. And he just perks up and runs, just jumps in the truck. He's like, oh, thank God, I was cold. So I send Brandon a text and I was like, I got Coop, or whatever I sent to you. And he goes, that dumb motherfucker. He said Ashton just left to go
Find him.
go find him. But then I had to chase her down because she's just
Tunnel vision,
she's
looking,
looking
for the dog.
not looking
Mhm.
behind her. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then speaking of, same day, that horse shit happened that night at dinner.
Oh. Yep. There it is. Life.
We can't get away from that shit.
Dude, life was going life. That was that same day. Yeah. Chris actually got a really good photo of me because you'd already left.
Yeah, it was cold.
But I was pulling I hand jacked that 5-inch off the back of 35s.
Yeah, I showed up to take pictures, and I come walking down the street, and Justin comes around the engine and sees me. He's like, Chris, hand jack this 5-inch to the hydrant. I was like, damn, dude.
No.
I came here to take pictures, not work.
Not work,
but-
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was telling somebody asked me about that this morning. I was getting off work. And I was like, I was just standing there cooking. And all of a sudden, just bow, bow, bow. Bang on the door. The wife goes to the door with the boys. And I was like, I bet it's Brandon. And
It was.
I turn and kind of look. So I turn to my left to look at the front door. And by that time, the door had opened, but I don't hear my kids because my kids get super excited when they see Brandon. And I don't hear like, Mr. Brandon. I don't hear anything out of my kids. So I kind of lean a little bit to see if I could hear. I don't hear anybody. And then something in me said, keep turning. And I just made like just kept turning to the left and looked out the windows. And sure as shit, smoke boiling out of the house behind me. And I was cooking. So I turned the eye off and I ran by the wife and I was like, her damn house is on fire. Granted, it's in the freeze. It's like 19 degrees. I'm in gym shorts, a t-shirt, and I'm barefoot.
It was pretty cold.
Mm-hmm.
And just run over there and meet Brandon in the front yard. And we find out that the owner's out with her kids and dogs. And we went in mainly just to kind of shut the doors, to kind of contain it. Wherever it was, try and contain it and see if there's anything else in the house. But
So what you didn't know was the reason I went in. So I asked that lady, I said, hey, how many kids do you have? That's where I fucked up. Well, she has 2.
she does, yeah.
She
one,
lives with one.
Yes.
But she has 2. So she said, hey, there's 2. In my brain, I'm like, oh, we're going to go find somebody.
Yeah.
So that makes sense why when you went in, you were shutting doors. And I'm like, hey, right side's clear. There's nobody over here.
Well, I went in and I go by the door. I went by the door that leads to the garage, which is where like 99% of the fire was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Shut that door and I made a loop through the
Mm-hmm.
bedroom, master bedroom, and I can't say master bedroom anymore.
Well,
So the primary bedroom.
Primary bedroom, yeah. PC.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that shit. Anyway, make a loop through the bedroom and living room and meet back up with you, and you're like, right side's clear. And I was like, I shut the door. And we just came out, and I was like, dude, honestly, if we can get a garden hose in here, just like put a green line on it.
yeah, they were all froze
all
over
frozen.
too. Yeah.
But that's when the boys showed up and we start helping pull a line and
Mm-hmm.
everything else. And
Yeah.
the adrenaline kind of shot down, and I was like, I can't feel my toes. I'm gonna go home.
Dude, that made me realize how bad I want to work with my friends. Right? Like that was like,
We didn't even talk. We didn't say a word. We just
You just know.
yep.
but
Well, You want to give us a little background on who you are,
Oh yeah,
what
let's
you
do that.
do, and we'll
Nope.
get into it a little bit.
So I'm Jonathan, 35, got a wife, got a freaking gold star medal of a wife. She, I got 3 boys. Well, they're 5, 3, and 1. So really, what I have is a pack of hyenas.
Yeah.
And yeah, she. I don't know that she knows like how grateful I am for her.
Hmm.
So probably need to go tell her that.
The Valentine's Day is coming up. So.
That is very true.
That is true.
Put your money where your mouth is. Getting
Yeah, but
some
we're
of that
frugal.
capitalism.
We don't like to spend money. I just tell her.
Oh,
It's the thought, right?
Yeah.
Like we were all gonna go in and try and buy.
we're still gonna try to do that. Did you tell her?
Mine already knows.
Oh, mine don't.
You're like surprise.
I'm surprised.
She does now.
Well, she's
whenever
gonna
this
know
comes
something.
out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she knows something's coming, but that was an unforeseen headache.
Oh yeah.
I was getting so mad.
Oh yeah, dude.
Whatever. All
Shouts
right.
out to Zach Bryan here. All my friends hate Ticketmaster. That's what we're talking about. So
Yeah,
we were gonna
that
buy some
was-
concert tickets, and it's a pain. You
Yeah.
have to beat. So Jonathan was in pre-sale, and he still got beat out by what 5,000 bots,
Yeah.
6,000.
Yeah,
So I mean, but yeah, carry on. Sorry.
that was a mess. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
I'll just wait for like the week of.
Yeah.
Which honestly, that's probably how we plan stuff better, anyways. What are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. I don't even know what today is.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about
yourself?
your family.
Ooh. Yeah. So married, 3 kids. I've been in Texas since. What year is it?
This is 24.
24. So 2016, we moved here in 16. I'm originally from Mississippi. Met my wife in college. Rope-a-doped her in. I'll take that one, please. Like when you talk like, man, you made like way out of your coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Heart of gold, man. Like wouldn't be near the person I am. I'm not even gonna say the man I am, because I still do some really childish shit, and she puts up with it. Yeah, wouldn't be near the person I am. Like she sees good in everybody. Like she sees the good in everybody, and everybody can. I
don't want to get off topic, but I just remembered I had that picture.
So you need to send that to me. That's funny.
Yeah.
So he's got a picture pulled up from that
I could
fire
probably
we were
throw it up on
talking
screen
about.
Whenever we,
Do I know?
Mhm.
I could probably put it on the screen whenever we
Yeah.
get this video out. But yeah,
So if he can get it on the screen, that's the 5-year-old and the 3-year-old. They're clearly obsessed with like firefighter stuff, 'cause this is what I do. But they don't like loud noises.
this
Which-
is when they
it-
were cutting the
cutting-
garage door with the
yeah.
K-12.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little, they call it the pirate ship, but it's some little plaything with a slide, and I position it in the yard to where they can see out the backyard and like down the street.
Mm-hmm.
And so I slid it over to where they could see more of the house and see the firefighters working, and now mind you, it's cold.
It's cold.
It's
Yeah,
cold,
it is
cold.
Yeah.
And they didn't care. They were like, oh, the firemen are doing stuff. Because because there's a station like a mile from the house, right? So we just hear the sirens all the time.
Right.
And for them to sit there and like, because they see pictures of me at work whenever we have fires or big incidents, and they're still in the stage where like every call is a fire,
Yeah.
even though we really just went and picked up Meemaw for the 14th time.
Yeah.
But no, I like that. That's pretty good. If you zoom in a little more, you can tell that Baker's like kind of like.
I was watching him cut that door, and I looked over, and I was like, "Hey,
I know those
those
kids.
kids are having a blast."
But no, the wife is I call her the woman because she is. I mean, she's the woman. She's mine. She's for me. Some people don't like that. Like, you mean your wife? Because I told him one day, I was like, yeah, I flew the woman and kid. She, what? But yeah, man, she's got a heart of gold. She sees the good in everybody, and she's not. What's the word we use? I guess jaded, maybe be a good word.
Yeah.
We're not. She says that I have no empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because that's just been bowled out of me from all the BS that we do. So I'm 35. I graduated high school in 2006. And then, so the fall of my senior year in Mississippi, Hurricane Katrina came through. And I had known like the volunteer chief and some other guys in the department just because the area that we live in, they're right there. And then we're out of school for like a month or two. So we're just like, me and my dad take chainsaws, and we're cutting roads and cutting trees out of roads, making paths for people to get in and out if need be, and then meet up with the volunteer department, those guys, and I just kind of just gravitated towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Go off to college, tried college. I don't know that I was school wise mature enough. I was just at the time it just wasn't for me. Anyways, the volunteer department's like, hey man, you turned 18 and yada yada yada. Said, how do you want to go get certified? I was like, what is certified? What does that mean? And that, well, we'll send you to school, and it's Tuesday, Thursday volunteer, and you get your firefighter 1 and your firefighter 2. But you don't. It's not like a career side. Just volleys get bad reps, but if they're still trained, and if they do a good job, it's like I'm not the guy that's gonna be like fucking volleys.
Yeah,
because I was one. That's where I started. There's a handful of guys back home in the volunteer department that I'll put up against a lot of them. Because they're just good dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, he's like, yeah, you'll be certified to you can go in the fire. And I was like, sign me up. Like, I can go in now? And they were like, yeah. So, because at the time, I would go to calls, and I was just a gopher. And watching them do what they do, and then, like, basically just, loading up hose at the end of the fire. And they were like, yeah, you can get certified to, like, go in. Absolutely. So I do that while I'm in college. And college just wasn't working out. Joined the fire department, the city department in my hometown, and met some great guys there. Super aggressive department. Had a lot of good fires, a lot of good wrecks because there's the main highways that run through there, and it's South Mississippi, man. It's 2-lane roads everywhere, trees,
right,
so like if you like out here you run off the road, you may run for 7 damn miles before you hit a fucking tree. Out there you got 7 inches.
Yeah.
Man, we get just that really pulled me in. So joined the department, and then me and the wife were still at the time we were still kind of flirting around with each other. And I had a lieutenant that was like, when are you gonna make an honest woman out of her? And I was like, what do you mean, boss? And he's like, Stop wasting her damn time.
Hmm.
That girl is way too damn good for you to be wasting her time.
Hmm.
He's like, make a decision. And I thought about it. And let me rephrase that. I didn't think about it very long. I was like, hey, you're fucking right. Yeah. So then I ended up marrying her. I asked her, and she said, yeah. I don't know why the fuck she said yeah, but she did. So I'm glad she did. Yeah, we go right back to her every time.
Yeah, as it should. As it should.
She's a rock, man. She, for my low expectations, like, I don't think the general public understands how just stupid the general public is.
Seriously.
So, like, I'm just jaded by it, and I see it all the time. She's like, well, maybe he was having a bad day. I'm like, fuck him. But you think about it, and it goes right back to this podcast. Maybe he was having a bad day.
Probably.
Maybe they're just stupid.
We talk about that all the time. We go on calls, and like all of us are like, man, oh, fuck that guy. He's such an asshole. And then we'll get back, and we kind of think about it. We're like, yeah, he was having a pretty shitty time.
He did fall in his own shit today.
He's like, he's the damn country song right there in front of us. And man, she sees the good in people, and she's helping me to see it. And the more good people I surround myself with, the more they're helping me see it too.
Right.
And then, because I don't give a shit about your problems.
Yeah.
Your problems are your problems. You're wasting my time because you think this is a serious problem. Like I don't care about your problems. And then now I'm like, it all correlates.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
And then, because what he's going through or she's going through now, I might be doing it in a week.
Right.
Or an hour. So.
Well, it's an interesting point to bring up, though, because it's something I've thought about more recently, that I think you're exactly right. As in the job that we do, all you do is see people's problems all day.
Yeah.
And all you do is see the bad and the bad people and all this stuff. And so it jades your mind into all you see is the bad. Everywhere we go, all I see is bad. The assumptions I have about people are bad. Like I always
immediate.
I never assume people are doing good. Like,
I'll look at somebody and I'm like,
yeah,
that guy's up to no good.
Absolutely. And so as a Christian, that's difficult, right? Because you're supposed to like understand that everybody's got their problems going on. They're all trying to make it, right? And it's hard to do that when all you see at work is the bad side of it. And there's people out there that they're just not good. Like, they're doing bad shit.
But we still have to do right by them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I fell hard on that. Year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe. Seeing the bad in everybody, and just it was the area that I was working in, we had one little intersection hang out in that neighborhood, and we started calling it Narcanistan. Dude, we gave gallons of this shit, dude. Like you'd be squirting it up somebody's nose over here, and then they'd be hollering over there, and like whether it's bad batches or they're just doing what they do. Just people are gonna do what people do. So, but it all kind of stems from a call that I ran when I was like 18 or 19 in the volunteer department. With this whole thing's on like mental health and how do you deal with it, and I don't know that I've ever I don't know, was one of those questions like I don't know, somewhere. Scroll down a little bit so I can see it. Yeah, so, it's like I haven't really paid attention to mental health because I don't necessarily think that I've experienced it, but it's clearly becoming a thing because more people are talking about it.
Right.
And then now, hindsight, I was dealing with it
Mm-hmm.
because all of those people that we were going to for and it's not Meemaw took too much medication
Right.
or you got a bad batch, or it's the people that we're going to, like, you walk up and you're like, God damn, Chris, like, what the fuck? Give him Narcan again. Not you. It's the first thing that came up. Clearly, you know. But talking about like the burnout, really. And we go to drug addict after drug addict after drug addict, and we're just the same. It's the same people, it's the same neighborhoods, it's the same apartment complexes, and you just get tired of it. And what I found out by after some heated arguments with the guys I worked with was there's something triggering that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a because I've never been like that, and there's a reason. And I called some old officers that had retired or are still on the job, and like talking to them, and he was like, "And you gotta take care of you." So, wherever you think that's coming from somewhere, it's stemming from something. And I just got to thinking, and it's a call that I ran as a volunteer, 18, 19 years old. Like, I wasn't an EMT yet. I was just a Band-Aid bandit. Like, I mean, just coming in and being like, oh yeah, all right. Yep. And then you're just standing over the EMS bag, like handing them stuff that you don't even know what the name of it is.
You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going
Yeah.
on. Absolutely nothing. I'm just here. Right? And so, ladies, back home, country roads, twisty turny. Old girl comes around the curve, and they hit square up. Like the red Dodge Durango, where the Ram symbol is, hit where the driver headlight of this brand new Toyota Tundra. And the Toyota Tundra symbol hit right smack dab on the driver headlight. I mean, they hit flush. And it sent this little 3-year-old girl straight through the windshield. So we get there, and the mom, the lady driving the Durango, was just like wandering around like a fucking zombie. And she had broke her arm right behind the wrist, and it was just flailing around. And then she was just wandering around. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And I see this little girl laying there, and then one of the girls that responded right before me, she's working on her, and she was an EMT. She was already an EMT, and she was in nursing school, so she knew way more shit than I did, right?
Right.
And like, I knew your basic first aid, like C-spine, and like this is supposed to twist, but this isn't supposed to twist. You know what I mean? Like, basic anatomy. And I'm just sitting there trying to help, do what I can for her. And I look over, and the lady, this little girl's deader than shit. Right. We're just doing what we can. So we land the bird, send her off. She ended up dying, but they ended up I don't know how we found out, but she ended up donating her eyes, her heart, her kidneys. Like, she donated, like, that body was, like, that little girl ended up saving a lot more lives. By losing hers at the hands of a drug addict. You're dealing with a call, you're dealing with multiple calls, or you're having to deal with like internal shit, mental stuff. And it's HOWZE.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
So Travis Howes had said, like, when we go on a mission, when he was in the military, he's like, we're going on a mission, or even the fire department, he's like, going to a CPR or something like that. Like, you can be fucked up and you can be dealing with your shit, but right now I need you to suck it up. Let's go. Okay? You can be fucked up later. Well, how later is later?
Yeah. But for real though, so I mean, I've noticed pediatric CPRs,
Mm.
for me, I don't know how other people do it, but for me, I cannot leave the rig until I cry. We pull it into the station or we're on the way back, but I can't step a foot out of that rig until I cry. I have to see those emotions. I have to process it. I have to get the brain at least working on it. And then I can step off and get back into station life.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that has helped me at least get 14 years to 12, 14 years past that call
Mm-hmm.
and not dealing with shit was because I never went into a call of, oh, that's Jeff, or this is Amanda, or that's Charlie.
Right.
It was patient 1, patient 2, patient 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Do your job, do it to the best of your ability. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you're not the patient. You're not gonna fail because I'm not gonna do my job.
Right.
But then we went right back to Narcan, 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 Narcan. Fuck this guy. Fuck that guy. Fuck this girl. Fuck her. Like,
Yeah.
and it goes right back to the mom that wrecked, that had no idea she had just picked her daughter up from school
Mm.
and head-on collision killed her.
Mm.
And that's kind of how they correlated to, like, going to those calls. I'm on the rig and we're going to an overdose call, and I'm already, as soon as I step on that engine, I'm already, fuck these people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that. I can't do that. It's not me. It doesn't look good for me. It doesn't look good for the department,
Mm-mm.
and it's not good for my guys.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
With me, and having to deal with that, and really not having anybody to deal with it with, because they didn't know.
Mm-mm.
All they saw was this guy just being angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you hate these people? Man, I don't know. I don't know.
Never
Yeah.
met him, but fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but that's just a small snippet of how it'll sneak in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know, because you talk about mental health, and you never see the beginnings.
Right.
That was the beginnings for me.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody saw it. Nobody knew it,
Mm-mm.
because they didn't tell them.
Nope.
Because I didn't know. So that's kind of how it'll sneak in there, and then personally, it doesn't take long to just explode out of control, and now you're an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how many times have you heard me say, "Hey, man, it's not that hard to not be an asshole"?
A lot.
Like, these people call 911. You're the guy.
Yeah.
You signed, whether you're the guy that signed up because you wanted to be a fireman because all you wanted to do was fight fire. Well, guess what?
That's not the way the fire service works
Yeah,
anymore.
that's not the 60s anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you're not
Yeah.
just running fire after fire. We're in here. We're in here for everybody. What's the old? I think it's military. It's for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that came from, but
I'm not here for me. I'm here for we, and we are here for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it's like we talked about on the last episode briefly. I brought up the idea of when you get to work in the morning, doesn't matter what you got going on at home, doesn't matter what you got going on in your life. When you get to work, you have to take an inventory of where you're at and evaluate, am I having a positive impact on my surroundings or a negative impact on my surroundings? And if I'm having a negative impact on my surroundings, on my crew, on my station, or whatever,
Mhm.
that's on me. I gotta change that, because it does nobody any good for me to be in a bad mood or be negative.
Right.
It does nothing but create negative energy and bring
Mhm.
everybody else gets brought down with you. So
It
'Cause
sets
there's
the tone.
yes, absolutely.
and from personal experience, there's nothing worse than getting on the rig with a negative Nancy.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's nothing worse than walking in the morning and be like, "What's up, fellas? Howdy, morning, morning," and you can already tell old grumpy pants over there.
Mhm.
Oh shit, I'm fine. Yeah. Like nobody needs that.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna complain about every call.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a
just
chief.
just run the call, man.
I had a chief the other day. We are everybody's walking into the building, shit's about to start. It's gonna be a day, and we're still trying to figure out what day it's gonna be. And he comes in and he's talking about like uniforms and like somebody did something to the rig. Like, bro, hey, how about we start with a good morning? Hey, hey, chief, how's it going? Like, how are you doing today? Are we gonna have a good day? Yeah, we're gonna have a great day. And then, probably around lunchtime, how about you come shit on it?
Yeah.
Don't like if you're gonna start the day that way, saying in the fire service, as the first 5 minutes of the fire goes, is how the fire will go. Right? And the same thing goes for your day. You could ruin a day in the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
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 Yep.
I mean, it's just one of those things to where like you have to take inventory of what you got going on and then go, all right, I'm going to be a little bit of an asshole. So let me stay away from people.
Mhm.
Let me recluse myself for a minute until I can figure out what I got going on. And then once I figured out what I got going on, you go, hey, all right, cool. I was the asshole. There was some stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Now I fixed it. Now I'm back in the game.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, it's like every shift. Like you can have a good shift, but every single shift, there's going to be something that you're not ready for, something you're not expecting. Whether it's
yes.
we got to go do this project, we got a shitty
Mhm.
call, we got whatever. Chief
Mhm.
calls us like, hey,
Staffing.
I need you to staffing, like, all this stuff. You know that there's stuff coming down the line at some
Right.
point in the shift.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start the day on a bad foot, it's just you're not going anywhere. If you can start the day on a positive note, everybody's good to go. You can kind of work through it all together, and everybody's on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I think I've realized so you don't have to be, dude, happy go lucky. You don't have to be, I'm ready to go.
That's
Let's
super
do
annoying.
it. Yeah, you don't have
Yeah.
to be that guy.
You don't have to be the 2-week guy.
yeah.
But if you're down, let me help you get up to at least my level,
Yeah.
right? Because there are going to be those happy-go-lucky guys, and maybe together, once we get to the same level, we can reach that guy's level,
Yeah.
right? And that would make the day go by so much smoother,
Yeah.
right? And so you kind of have to let people in, right? Like you kind of have to, all right, I'm fucked up today. I'm going to need some help. Let me go get Chris. Let me go get J-Mo. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
You gotta reach back and pull somebody up with you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I heard that. I don't know where I heard it, but I heard it.
Man, we had
I don't
a-
know if it was biblical or. I'm not the most Jesus-y person, right? So like I know a couple of lines, but
It's a big book, yeah. It's
It's
okay.
a lot.
you know what I
It's a
mean?
lot,
Like
yeah.
it's because I got that's a different story.
Something along the lines of kind of being in the right headspace for your shift. We had a call the other day that was pretty stressful. Long story short, we're mopping the floor in the evening, and tones go off. We hear dispatch for the address for our station for choking. We're like, huh, okay. Go outside. They're like, hey, they're in the parking lot. We go outside. No cars in the parking lot. Nobody's there. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. Turns out it was the ambulance station down the street. So we haul over there. What had happened was it was a like 18-month-old kid
Uh-huh.
had choked and then like really choked and
Oh.
stopped breathing, no pulse, nothing. Mom had called 911 and then basically decided the phone call was taking too long or something like that. Something
Understandable.
happened. And she said, I'm going to the fire station. Hung up. Fortunately, she lived like 30 seconds down the street from the ambulance station. So she went there. So
They're gone.
thankfully for us, she didn't come to our station because that would have been even more stress. But
Mm-hmm.
she went there. Fortunately, both medics and the supervisor were there. But
They're never there.
Yeah,
Every
right?
time I
Yeah.
drive by, they're never there.
Fortunately, they were all there. So she shows up, hammering on the door. They've heard the alert for us for choking. Well, then hammering on the door, open the door, and this lady's standing there with an 18-month-old kid.
Yeah.
Who's dead,
Yeah.
basically, and just fix it. So, long story short, they do one round of CPR, get this kid back. We
Good
show
deal.
up, we're work on there for a while, take him to Cooks, and they extubated him, I think, a day, two days later, 0 deficits.
Hell
He's
yeah.
good.
Love that.
Good deal.
The point of the story for this, though, is that talking with my buddy who was one of the medics there,
Mhm.
he said, he was like, man, we answered the door and my brain just shut off for like 30 seconds. Because usually when we get a call, we have the bells go off, we go to the truck, we have however long it takes to get to the call for us to mentally get in gear for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's rarely answer the door, here's a dead kid,
Yes.
fix it.
No,
Right?
never.
So he was like,
Yeah.
it took me 30 seconds to get my brain to figure out what was happening and figure out what to do
Mm-hmm.
to fix it, right? And
Yeah.
so that was something that I've never experienced that. Like we've had walk-ups and stuff, but it's never been that serious. Like
No,
that's pretty much
yeah.
as bad as it can get on a walk-up, right?
Dude.
So we talked about it after two of us rode in with them to the hospital, and we talked about it for a little bit afterwards and debriefed with the rest of the crew. But that was kind of one of the big things we talked about was you're used to having that time to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
and not having that time was a real shock for the brain. So if you can imagine having that on top of your already mentally checked out, would be a big problem.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
That, man,
I can't even, so as a medic, I can't even imagine not having that warm up, right? Because that's what I call it. I call it a warm up, right?
Yeah.
You're driving to the call and your brain, so most of the time, like at night, you wake up and your brain's like, all right, I'm at work. All right, I got to
Yeah.
get my gloves on. I got to do this. I got to do that.
this was the name. This was the type of call. So
Yeah,
I
this is the-
automatically know what.
This is the
niche
protocol I
I'm going
need to be in, and this
Yeah.
is the ways it could go, right? These are my
Here's my
differential
options.
diagnosis. Yeah. I can't imagine coming into a pediatric CPR without any heads up.
Right? Yeah.
And then two, I couldn't imagine like, oh yeah, now we have to go to work. And also I have to call the truck, or I have to call, like I need more hands.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
That's so we've at my old station, we've had walk-ups that have been shot. Okay, cool. Well, you're still alive.
Right.
I can
Yeah.
still, I can still kind of meander my way through
Mhm.
like sample
Mhm.
like your basic
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck me running, right?
I
mean,
think they estimated he had been down like 5 or 6 minutes,
Mm.
not breathing by the time.
and that's
they got
getting
to him.
close. To,
That's why I like. If she lived anywhere other than where she lived, it would have been
Game over.
a
Yeah.
problem, right? And so, fortunately, her making that decision of screw it, I'm just going. I'm not waiting. I'm going. Saved his life.
Yeah.
But then, just showing up and them like talking with them, they weren't super optimistic at the beginning that was going to go well. Obviously,
here's my limp baby.
yeah.
Oh.
And then I mean, I think they did one round of CPR, got him back, and I mean he wasn't in great shape, but he was alive. He was making
Mhm.
noise.
Yeah.
So,
Could you imagine? First of all, kudos to mom.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
how many people, like, not counting our wives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of what we do and
Yeah.
what my wife does, and like how many people are gonna see that and go, we're going to the fire station.
Well, we
It's
see it
right
all
there.
the time on other random calls you go on. We see it all the time of people that make irrational decisions or can't make a decision.
Can't just
like
frozen.
Even in like relatively minorly stressful situations.
Yeah.
So for her to be able to be in like her kids
Dying. Yeah.
like for her to be like, I know what I need to do. I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And I
That's
know I'm
huge.
gonna do it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Well, you
So,
think
yeah.
about
With two, I think she had 2 other kids with her too. So she threw them all in the car and was like,
we got to go.
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I ain't
real
worried
big.
about buckling you up. Nothing. Hang
Yeah.
on, boys. Let's go.
"Oh, I mean, we pulled up to their station. And there's an SUV out front. All the doors are open, and the bay doors open, and we were like, oh, oh."
Dude, I like, so you think about it though, right? We go to calls all the time and it's like, oh, it's 2 a.m. and I've had toe pain. And you're like, why didn't you call during regular business hours?
Right.
Oh, because they couldn't make a decision. They
Yeah.
like, it hurts, but I don't know if
I
it's
think about
hospital
taking another
hurts.
Tylenol.
Yeah, like
Right.
they couldn't make a real decision. And that lady, God, she needs a challenge coin, because
Yeah.
kudos to her for like, brain, let's go, in the car. We're going to the paramedics.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So next question for you. Let's see. What is your motivation from day to day in your career, personal life, etc.? So how do you keep yourself one on track, on task, mentally, right? Like, so how do you keep that thing churning in a good, positive way?
What's what's the best compliment you can give to a fireman? If we're talking about another dude that's a fireman, what's the best compliment you could give that guy? If you're talking to me about him, that's a good fireman.
So what is always said and heard is like, oh, that guy's a solid dude.
Yeah.
Now what that means in my brain, so when I hear that, I was like, oh, dude, that guy is committed. He's trustworthy. He's consistent, and he's a follow through. That guy hits his mark every time. So
For me, it's that go-to guy. Like, it's the guy that you point at and you're like, he can do it. Like
ooh,
you hear
yeah.
chiefs, like good chiefs on the fire ground talk about a lot. They're like, I want the crew that I can look at. And I know when they're there, I can tell them to do something, and they're just going to do it. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's looking at it and be like, that guy can do it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's probably my biggest. On the career side, on like a personal for the career side,
Right.
if you can look at me and be like, that's my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I can get any bigger praise than that.
Yep.
Some people may talk about me, and fuck that guy.
Hey, you got to have those guys.
Yeah.
Like,
but something in me that, like, everybody likes praise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not in this for the praise,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to be good enough at my job that when my name comes up, you go, I like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So career side, that's probably one of the biggest ones. Personal is like I've thought about it and I go back and forth and like I just like what I do.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't go get a cubicle job.
Oh no.
I
Lord,
can't.
no.
I get to live a little kid's dream
Mm-hmm.
every third day.
Mm-hmm.
I get to go spend the night at the firehouse.
With the boys.
And maybe we get to go fuck some shit up.
Tear down
Or we get to
somebody's
save a
walls.
life.
Word.
Or maybe we pick up Meemaw 13 times. I don't know.
Hey,
But
man, if I'm doing it, the guys I like hanging out with, man, it's like,
Pick it up, Meemaw.
Yeah.
Ain't that bad.
Yeah, right.
You know?
yeah, like let's go.
yeah.
Hey, Meemaw, try to stay in bed tonight, all right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you
We're
what.
gonna slide this recliner over here so you can't get
When we go on calls
But-
and we run by y'all's neighborhood, I just run the siren. Just,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, my
because I
kids
know
are
you guys
like-
love it.
Dude,
my kids
so
are lighting
much.
up. But I want to make my kids the kids and the wife proud.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't grow up in a very lovey-dovey family.
Mhm.
Like hugs and kiss. Like, what the fuck is that? Get off me.
Yeah.
Like hearing my brother-in-law's family, like hugs, kisses, love you, hope you have a good day, yada
Notes
yada.
and lunch boxes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and then we hang around his family, like when we at the time, and it was
Mhm.
like, what the fuck is going on? So like I'm trying to change that with my kids, and like
Mhm.
I don't know, I'm 35. I don't know that I ever got a boy. Good job,
From your
proud
dad?
of you.
Yeah.
It's just not what we did.
Right.
I know that he does,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He's so proud of you, dude.
but I don't hear it. I don't talk to him.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to my dad. Like I don't like that's not a
That's not the conversation.
no.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, what tool should I use? Yeah.
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 So trying to make a point to let my kids know that. Dude, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell the damn joke again.
Oh, yeah. Here we
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's the easiest way to it's laughter, right? Just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm a dad, and you follow all of these like dad joke pages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
God, dude, I laughed way too hard at this joke. And I told y'all earlier, but I'm gonna tell it again because maybe somebody listening is gonna get a kick out of it. It says, "What has 5 toes, but isn't your foot?" My foot.
That's so bad.
I heard that and I cracked up for way too long. And then why does a pterodactyl why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? Because the P is silent.
Mm.
And just stupid, dumb
Oh, dude, you're
dad
tearing it
jokes. Man, so you had sent me a video the other day of I'm pretty sure it was you. He was a cop. He's a comedian now. He's a cop, and he talks about
Mm-hmm.
when he was running the beat, and they go to this guy that had shot himself, took his face off, and he said that the detective or whoever the senior guy or whatnot comes in, and he gets the guy's ID, and he looks at the ID, and he looks at the guy, and he looks at us, and he looks at the guy, and he looks at his ID, and he takes his thumb and he covers the fucking face and goes, "You think that's our guy?" That's so fucked up, and it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Dude.
But I don't know that people understand that.
Ooh, your wife would not get that. She's too sweet.
Oh, she would go,
She'd be.
she'd give me the face.
Yeah,
she would immediately give me
real
the face.
mad at you. Yeah, yeah.
And there's
Jonathan, that is dark. Don't
There's-
do that. And what's crazy is she works in the NICU.
Yeah.
So mentally,
She works on babies smaller than this bottle.
and so for me, when I see it, I'm like, Sarah, how are you not with us on this?
Right.
We're
Because here's the thing. I don't understand how she's not as jaded and fucked up as we are, because we see the people,
yeah,
she sees their kids.
Yeah.
every time. Yeah. Was that her telling us about the parents that came in all methed up trying to see their kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know if I
she
could-
she works on babies that are they're born having withdrawals.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
If that doesn't make me want to shoot somebody in the fucking face, you know what I mean?
Just take it old school. Just start beating ass.
But yeah. So she sees, and the best part of her job sometimes is she gets to see the wonderful names that they name their babies.
Oh my gosh. They're getting worse.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
So first of all, you got all the Braden, Jaden, Hayden, Caden, Waden, Daden. What the fuck are we doing?
Making a rap book.
God.
Yeah.
But then you go over to La hyphen A. It's La Dasha. And then you
That's a
have
good one, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
his name's Will. His legal name is I Will Arise and Walk with Jesus. We're just gonna call him Will.
No shit. You gonna shorten that one? I would.
But it's Jake with a CH.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Jayke.
My favorite one I've heard is Pajamas,
Ooh.
but the way you spell it is pajamas. Pajamas.
Pajamas.
Oh, God.
She has gotten some kids before, and she's like, "You're just baby A."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Come here, little baby.
real,
And she's got to do all her thing. Oh, speaking of NICU, she's got to get IVs and shit. So the next time you miss an IV on a big old fucking Boilermaker of a vein, just know that she's getting them. And
Oh, dude.
she's threading needles,
Yeah.
man. She talks about having to get them in foreheads. Could you imagine dropping a 18 in somebody's forehead?
I can imagine it.
I can imagine. Dude,
But-
I could only. So what y'all don't get to see is, right, so we get to take these patients that we do crazy shit like that, and we take them into the hospital, and every time there's a doc, and he goes, "The fuck did you do that for?" Well, doc, they needed medicine, I needed a line, and they got it between the eyebrows. I don't know what you want from me.
I can remember stories of, so back home, I worked on the ambulance on the side,
Mm-hmm.
and I was an ambulance driver
Ooh, wee woo.
because I was an EMT barely.
Oh, yeah, that's what that B stands for.
Yeah. So I'm just driving along, and so the medic is an old Marine, and he's a medic, and like, from you remember the guy from Trailer Park Boys that had the big
Bubbles.
yeah
Yeah.
okay
Yeah, we watch that like every night. So, yeah.
bruh okay, so I don't know if the camera's still going, but old boy's gonna get a line. That's the arm. The softest, sweetest voice. It's like, and he's gonna tell you everything he's gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and he's step by step, and he's like, all right, well, you need an IV, so I'm gonna give you an IV. Be a little poke, okay? You ready? All right. And he looks like he's fucking waving at people. He's trying to shake off like a booger or something. But as soon as these fingers touch the skin, smooth as glass.
Ooh.
Sitting still, driving on a bumpy damn road, just.
Consistent.
And I can honestly say, out of the 2 to 3 years that I'd worked for that company, and then however many shifts I worked with him,
Mhm.
I can honestly say that I don't know that I ever saw him miss.
Well,
AC, like I don't know all the terminologies, but like ACs, EJ,
Mhm,
like
mhm.
like he gave 14s to a kid,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
bilateral 14s.
damn.
I was like, Jesus Christ, you're putting telephone poles in this dude's arm.
Yeah.
But I mean, he needed it. He needed I think he drilled him and gave him 2 14s
Damn.
because he tried to shoot himself
Mm.
with a rifle. And I don't know how anatomically. I think he had to reach out there with a toe,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess I don't know, but it moved, and it went in here, right below his collarbone, right in that soft meat where there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
And just obliterated his shoulder blade.
Yep.
So we're just like, gauze, ABD pad, trouble pad, the gauze. We're just packing this shit,
Yeah.
right? Lay him on the backboard, fly him out, or get him strapped down. And the ambulance, I was talking to the flight crew later, they said, yeah, when we slid him out and we moved him over,
Mm-hmm.
all that padding came out, and it just, they were like, this sound that it made when it hit the ground,
Mm.
it was like warm curdled milk, like
Oh.
dropping a big tub of yogurt on the
Oh.
floor.
Splat.
And they were
Oh.
like, oh shit. Yeah, 14, like he was sending some fluids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
'cause
then
he's
he
gonna
was
need
like-
blood later.
He's like, let's I don't know, there's titrate, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
slow it down basically so
Mhm.
we don't flood him and kill him because
Yeah.
apparently you need more blood than fluid. I don't know.
It's most of the time. That's
Yeah,
how it works.
I don't know. All I know is that, and I learned this
Mhm.
when I first became an EMT barely,
Mhm.
and it was how he said it, and it stuck with me ever since. Air goes in and out, blood goes round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Any deviation of that gets a rapid infusion of diesel,
Exactly it.
and I'm just like, all right,
Yeah.
and you can work off that on
Mhm.
every call.
Mm-hmm.
Air's going in, but it ain't coming out that good. You got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Air ain't going in. Got a problem.
Yep.
You look like Swiss cheese. Every time I do compression, you look like a damn geyser.
Yep.
Old Faithful over here.
That's exactly it. So, and as a medic, we get to fix a lot. We had a call last tour, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do anything here. We're going to need to step this up. I don't carry whole blood. Let's roll. Let's lights, sirens, the whole kit and caboodle. We're rolling, right? Like, and there's not a lot of situations you get into like that. You're like, there's always something you can do.
Sure.
Nah, I already started my IV, and then I had nothing to put into it. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go before he gets hemodynamically unstable.
Yeah, whatever that means.
We both went.
Yeah. I heard hemo.
So-
I know what that means, but
I thought he said T-boned, honestly. All right. Turn the lights on. So,
All right.
have you ever been reunited with a save?
Uh, I should have been. I was on that call, but when they got reunited, I was already fired from that job.
Oh, the task book job.
Yeah. Shouts
Which
out to
goes-
Haltom City.
This goes right back to it's the little things.
It's the little things, boys. And I'm a testament that it's the little things. Get your shit together.
Was it episode 1?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Episode 1 is the
Mhm.
little things, brushing your teeth, and then you also
Oh, that
ended
might have
it.
been the preamble.
Yeah.
That's the preamble.
What one of them?
Yeah.
And then you also ended it with hopefully our next guest doesn't flake. I didn't flake.
That's true. That wasn't that. Yes.
That made the cut.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we could sit here all day.
Yeah.
You could get your alcoholic Arizonas now.
Yeah.
I don't know. You haven't drank in a year.
I got
so
18 days.
You haven't drank in a year, so it might
Yeah.
take one tea.
Yeah.
Floored.
You just speak in cursive.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we could sit here all day, and and you need to do this
Mm-hmm.
at the station
yeah.
with your guys.
Yeah.
Round tables. You get done eating, sit down,
Mm-hmm.
bullshit with each other, fuck with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, be nice about it, but you know what I mean. Like,
Man, that's a lot of the reason that we're wanting to do this podcast, right? It's like we don't really
Mhm.
know exactly what we want to talk about, but the whole point of it is to,
I ain't certified in none of this shit.
the whole point of it is just to get talking, right? Like
Right.
I don't know if anybody's gonna like. I know some people are gonna listen to it,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter who's listening to it for what reason. Like we just want to talk and make
Yeah.
it okay to get shit out there. Like we got into some stuff today that most people probably wouldn't talk about
Ever.
with
Mm-mm.
anybody else, but that's what you got to do.
I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect.
Jesus Christ.
Is the only one that's ever been perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I can just try to be good,
Mm-hmm.
and I can try to be good at what I do. And when things arise that prevent that, how do we circumvent that? Because I don't know, unless this whole mental health era that we're in,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd have figured out why I was mad and fuck it, drug heads.
Dude. And so it started off kind of weird, right? Like it was the Me Too movement and the safe space thing, and there was a bunch. There was like, oh dude, that is
You guys are fucking weird.
like I was like, I don't have any of that. I guess fuck us, right? But then that's when I realized I was like, oh, there's a lot of people who don't have that. But
It's
they
just
do
different.
have this. Yeah. It's a different like space of mental health. I don't need a safe space.
Well, it's like I don't want to wrap you in bubble wrap. Like I don't want
No.
to prevent you from experiencing these things in the world because you can't get away from it. These things are going to happen. It's just how you deal with it
Process.
afterwards.
Mhm.
Right?
I'm glad you said that. So I have ADHD, and it only takes one syllable sometimes to be like, he said this word, and that word goes in this sentence that I heard. Hey, Travis Howes said, putting our trauma on a pedestal.
Mhm.
You said a word that had P in it. Pedestal. You're putting your trauma on a pedestal. You are going to a call, or you leave a call that, let's just say the new guy you've got is kind of fucked up by it.
Mhm.
What's to say that he can't be fucked up by that? Because you're not bothered by it? Because you've been on 10, 14, 20 years and it's not bothering you?
Yeah.
So I've seen this, I've seen that, I've seen this. It doesn't compare to the shit we just saw, so you don't get to be fucking sad about it.
Mhm.
I was kind of that way because I didn't know any better.
Right.
But now I'm like, man, what's fucked up to me? Like, damn, that was a bad call. Might be, or that's not even that bad. They had a wreck. Like, we ran a wreck the other night. Old boy ran into a tree, and it fucked him up. He was DRT. And, like, we were trying to find his leg.
Mhm.
because it wasn't there
Where it was supposed to be.
where it's supposed to be. And I could tell that it was violently ripped off because he didn't have that nice smooth nub where people that don't have legs, it's nubbed off, right? No, this was like.
That was there recently, and now it's not.
It was attached.
Yeah.
Now it's not. And I could tell that one of the newer guys was like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
what's to say that's not that bad to me? That's whatever. It's just a leg.
That's work. Yeah.
But now he might be super fucked up about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It goes right back to like Travis Howell's talking about, like putting trauma on a pedestal, and you got to stop.
That's not a competition.
No.
It's not. It's like guys that are like, "Oh, I'm so tired." It's like, "Oh, you're so tired, man. I was up all night last night." Blah, blah. I don't
I
care.
do that with my wife.
Yeah.
I do that with my wife.
We're
She
both
goes,
tired. Sure.
She goes, I was up with the babies. Like, I only got like
Well, I was
2
up
hours
with
of
grown
sleep.
babies.
I was up with motherfuckers with stubbed toes. Way worse.
Yeah.
And so back to the wives, the shit that they do day in and day out while we're at work. The days that it is daddy daycare and she's at work,
Oh, worst days.
fucking help. Like,
I love my kids so much, and it's so much fun getting to raise them. But oh man, without her, and so women. All right, let's get into it. Women have a spot. They have
an innate
their-
ability.
yes, like a lot of women go, "Oh, I'm just as good as a man is." Like, no, you're not. We have two different roles, and it really shows. Like, you won't see it until you become a parent and you're raising kids, but like, she just knows. She knows their mannerisms. She knows what they need, when they need it, before they need it, and it that's why her days. That's why she can do 24, 48-hour stretches, and I can only do 15 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
that's what
She-
separates the men from the boys. I mean, the
She-
women from the men.
Understands, my wife specifically understands the caveman grunts that my 1-year-old does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he wants a pouch. How the fuck do you know that?
Like, what made
Because
you?
I've changed his diaper, I changed his shirt, I tried to give him a banana, which he devoured, but now he's still
So my daughter for a couple of years ate basically exclusively peanut butter sandwiches. Like,
Nice.
that's what she wanted all the time. And then about 6 months ago, she decided that she didn't like peanut butter in sandwiches out of the blue. And my wife figured out that when she was like, I want a peanut butter sandwich, but without the peanut butter, what that really meant was I want toast with cream cheese on it. And I don't know how she got from A to B, but she
Whoa.
figured that out. And so every time she was like, I want a peanut butter sandwich with no peanut butter, she would just make her toast with cream cheese. She was like, this is exactly what I wanted. Thank you.
Yo,
I asked my
How?
boys,
how, dude?
I asked my boys the other day, I said, hey, what do you want for lunch? And I'm learning, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Because you'll end up being a short order cook.
Yep. 100%.
You want a ham and cheese? Yeah, done.
Mm-hmm.
You want a peanut butter and jelly? Yeah, done.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what do you want to eat? I want a peanut butter and jelly. I want a ham and cheese. But what he really means is, I want a ham and cheese, but I don't want the fucking bread. I just want rolled up ham and cheese.
Yeah.
So then you have to be, all right, you want a ham and cheese? Yes. All right, do you want it on bread? Do you want the sandwich?
Mm.
Cool. Do you want it hot? Do you want it cold?
That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, women, man,
They do so
what is
much.
it? Can't live with them, can't live without them, or,
Oh,
or
you
some
for
shit.
sure
Like, you know what
can't
I mean?
live without them.
I would be. Goes right back to what I talked about in the beginning. I am a much better fucking human being
Mm-hmm.
because of her.
Yeah.
And then having kids. So pediatric calls
Yep. No
never
shit.
really bothered me.
Those got
Mhm.
way worse.
Oh
Yeah.
shit,
Way worse.
Yeah.
that's my kid now.
Mhm.
This is
Every
my
single
kid.
one.
Yep.
It wasn't. That's my grandma. That's
No.
my cousin. That's my aunt. Fuck no.
Nuh-uh.
Now that's my kid.
Mhm.
Man, it's like that one I was talking about earlier that knocked on the door and was like, fix my dead kid when we showed up. And understandably, mom is there. Like, she's actually doing a remarkably good job of not freaking out, but she's kind of freaking out,
Right.
understandably.
Mhm.
And
Screaming on the
understanding that, like,
inside.
immediately I was like, I can't be mad at her. Like, I don't know what I would be doing in this situation.
Oh, lost.
Like, no idea what I would be doing.
And
I would be
and
punching
that's
inanimate
with years
objects.
of fire
You know what I mean? Like,
service.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
understand what's going on, and I wouldn't. I can't put myself in those shoes, and I hopefully will never have to. But
Mm-mm.
I can't tell you what I would be doing in that situation.
So now that we're talking about kids and family, and I haven't known you that long, Chris, but I've seen you and I've seen you interacting with your kids and your wife. I met you when you didn't have kids, and I've watched you be a great dad. So coming up, you guys are doing amazing jobs of being dads. Nobody ever tells you that. Nobody ever tells dads that they're doing an amazing job.
What's up, dude?
Tell their moms.
What's up, dude? What's up?
So
Camera's still on, dog. Don't make me fight you up here.
when was the last time somebody told you you were a good dad?
Yeah, man. It's been a while, but my wife, really though, is the only one I've ever heard say it.
The way your daughter runs up to you.
What's up, dog? What are we doing here? Gotta get some fans in here. Dust.
It's pollen.
Those allergies are coming in real strong.
Fucking
Yeah. Man,
winter allergies are rough.
I'll tell you what though, so
watching that little caveman Irish daughter of yours running around.
it's funny.
Am I fucking wrong?
Dude, she's so Irish.
Gosh, damn.
My mom was in town for Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously she's here for like a month, and
Right.
she's gone in England for the rest of the time. So she only gets that small snippet of time with Sarah and with us.
Mm-hmm.
And so she spent a lot of time with us over that month. And like right before she left, we were at lunch or something, and she was talking to me, and she was just going on and on. She was like, "Man, seeing you, the way you interact with Sarah and love her and play with her, and just whatever she wants, you're there." It felt really good to hear that,
Dude,
and
I
she
bet.
was just like, I love seeing you love her and experience her, like especially in that age,
Right.
because like we all know, like you see the videos pop up all the time on social media. It's like you only got so much time.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna look up, and it'll be the last time you picked her up, and all that. And those ones are just like, ugh.
Right in the heart, yeah.
And before kids, fucking pussy. now that I got kids, the what is it, Modern Family, when the dad Al Bundy is the granddad, and he gives a speech at a dinner, and he's like,
Oh,
"Fucked me up."
yeah. I remember that.
And I was
one,
like,
yeah.
"Oh shit, I have feelings."
What is that? What is that?
Dude.
And but no, I met you when you didn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You because you got a twinkle, because you know you're doing a good job.
Doing the best I can. I don't know if it's a good job yet or not. That's to be determined.
You're doing a good job.
So as a man, my granddad had told me before. He said, as a man, you have a career. You have what you do for a living, and then you have a job.
Yeah.
Your job as a man is to provide for your family, protect your family, make sure they go without wants and needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a career. You do what you do.
Right.
And he also said, find something you do, find something you love to do, and figure out how to get paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
He also said it'll quit hurting when it quits hurting, when I hurt myself.
I thought you were going somewhere deep with that, and then you were just like,
You
"No, I
can
just
take
hurt
it any
myself."
way you want to take it.
Yeah, you can. Shit.
It'll quit hurting when it quits hurting. Whether that's you kicked a 2x4 into your knee, into your shin, or you've lost someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because the stuff you've been dealing with your dad,
Yeah.
stuff that I'm dealing with now with my grandmother, it's hard.
Yeah.
And we truck on through, and we don't talk about it.
Yeah. Yep. Well, and so
I don't want to end it with
the Liver King call. So, and that's what it is now. I talked to that dude, and he was like, I was like, have you told anybody? Like, have you cried about it? And he looked me square in the face and said, no, I just buried him. It's like, bro, you better say something.
Yeah.
That shit will literally eat you alive inside out. And so I talked to him, and he was just like, no, I just buried him. I was like, dude, it's been like a week. And that was another crazy thing. It had been a week, and he was just now having an anxiety attack. It's like, bro,
We've been on autopilot.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to get to your emotions and get to them quick.
I just went blank. I was gonna say something deep and profound.
Oh yeah,
And it's fucking gone.
it's almost 2:00. My wife's almost off work, boys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told my wife we'd be done around lunch. I didn't say whose lunch. It's fucking lunch in L.A.
Yeah. Oh.
But
Yeah, we'll have you back on. There's a lot more we should go over.
Yeah.
Fire tactics and shit like that. Yeah. And so one thing for sure, like, have y'all seen the Boyd Street fire in
Mhm.
LA?
mm-mm.
See, yeah, you got to watch the
You gotta
Boyd
watch
Street
it.
fire. That's pretty fucking gnarly. But there's a bunch of stuff that, outside of mental health that we would like to go over too.
Yeah.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Laughter is probably some of the best medicine on this bitch.
Oh yeah.
Laughing is the way to get over shit. The Boyd Street fire ain't nothing to laugh at, but it raises a lot of emotions
Oh
because
yeah.
they do a really good after action on it, and you get to see a bunch of it. My little tidbit before we go is if you're watching, help us come up with a motto, help us come up with a tagline, ethos, whatever you want to call it. The winner will get a Fill the Box hat, a shirt, t-shirt, and a challenge coin. But yeah, that's something that we're gonna do. So you can enter to win. You're already getting a challenge coin because you're a guest. But yeah,
I put it in my box.
yep.
Well, we got a few more guests lined up. Hopefully we'll get a little bit back on track with the scheduling stuff and
Mhm.
get some more stuff. I hope today was good. Kind
Yeah.
of seeing like we're really not trying to talk about one thing, just
Yeah.
talk about
Everything.
But,
Yeah.
No, nothing's off limits.
Yeah.
No, nothing's
absolutely.
off limits.
So really appreciate you coming out and
Appreciate y'all.
talking with us. Hopefully we'll have you on again.
Come on again, talk about tactics and doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
doing
awesome.
it. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and then your wife is hopefully going to be on the Fire Wives episode.
Oh, that'd
We
be cool.
plan to have a Fire Wives episode, and that'll be really cool to see the perspective now that you've laid the groundwork of what you see of her, what she sees of you,
Yeah.
and that'll be really cool to get like a full circle moment there. So
Yep.
that'll be awesome.
Gonna be an overweight and jaded asshole.
No.
Well, appreciate you listening to us, and guess we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, boys.
Have fun.
All right, I got to pee like a motherfucker.